I'm very happy to introduce a friend of mine who is going to join us for Show Corners once in a while, and we appreciate her a lot for this. She's a special person. Tammy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Gadi?
I'm good. I'm worried you would be upset that I called you special, but that's how I think of you.
Well, I will take it in the spirit in which it was given.
Perfect. So I want to say and share with people a little bit about you. You are, I think, first and foremost, a science fiction and fantasy fan.
Yes.
You also love Hamilton, which is how we connected, I think.
Yes.
Thinking into the night in Dublin and the stuff weekend for WorldCon. You're a con runner. You're a pro cocktail enthusiast. You are chief tasting officer for your company. Tammy's Tastings recently took online.
Yes.
You're co-authors of Cheers to Michigan. You based your segments, I think, on with Lester Graham, Michigan Radio's Starside program. And people should also know your website, tammystastings.com, and you're also on Facebook.
Yes.
I'm just excited about everything you do, honestly.
Yeah, I'm excited too. It's been a really interesting transition. I've been teaching public cocktail classes since 2011. And, that's a bunch of people in a closed space passing things around from hand to hand. And that clearly was not going to work under our current circumstances. But I made the switch to online, and it's been a lot of fun and really let me use different tools that I can use standing at a bar. So I've really enjoyed making the transition, and I think the people who've been taking the classes are having a great time too.
Perfect. So take it away.
All right. So as Malka said, when we were talking in advance of the show, I said, what kind of cocktails do you like? I was trying to figure out what to make today. And she pointed me to this Criminal Element website where they have a pick your poison spot where they will come up with a drink for a book that they like that week. And Infomocracy was one of the ones that they featured. And of course, the drink they made with it was the Ginfomocracy, which is great. I love punny names and I love gin. So this is a perfect drink for me. So this is also a perfect drink for the time of year we're in. I'm here in Michigan right now, and today was our first really beautiful day. I think it cracked 70 Fahrenheit. And so it's been a great, beautiful day. So this is a nice summery cocktail to celebrate that. So I'm going to start off with 3 slices of cucumber. The recipe on the website doesn't include this, but the recipe we'll put in the show notes will. I like to add a pinch of salt anytime I'm making a drink that has cucumber in it. It just helps bring out the cucumbery flavor. Now I need to muddle this up. This is going to get a little noisy, but I really want to bring out the cucumber juice that's in these. So stay with me. If you don't have a muddler at home, sometimes people will tell you to use the end of a wooden spoon, but it's really kind of narrow to accomplish what we're going for here. The best thing to do if you don't have a muddler is just to grate your cucumber on the side of a cheese grater, and then throw that in before you shake your cocktail. Back to muddling. All right, I think I've got that nice and pulped up in there now. So this is a gin cocktail. I'm going to use Beefeater gin today because I have it around and I really like it. This drink, because of the cucumber, because it's also going to have a floral element with the Saint Germain, this would be a great drink to bust out your Hendrix for if you have some. But really, you can use any gin that you like that you think will go with these flavors. So 2 ounces of gin. And then I mentioned this sweet, tropical, fruity, floral Saint Germain. So that is really popular. It was launched in 2007, which you would not guess from this beautiful Art Deco bottle. You would think this spirit had been around forever. This liqueur had been around forever. But it's fairly new and insanely delicious. In the industry, it's known as bartender's ketchup because it tastes great and goes with everything, as you can tell by my nearly empty bottle. So 3/4 of an ounce of the Saint Germain goes into the shaker. Then some lemon juice. So the most important thing you can do if you're making a cocktail at home is to use freshly squeezed juice. But I do understand things are challenging right now. If all you have is squeezy bottle juice that's been in your fridge, one of those little fake lemons. Go ahead and use that. It's still going to be delicious. I'm going to use a ½ ounce. The original recipe called for 1/4 ounce, but I know that I tend to like my drinks a little bit more tart. And the great thing about making a cocktail at home is that you can adjust it to your own liking. So ½ ounce of fresh lemon juice goes right in there. And that is everything I need for now, except of course some ice. I'm gonna add a generous amount of ice here. A lot of people, when they're mixing drinks at home, will use too little ice in the shaker. So got a nice amount of ice. I'm gonna take the top of my shaker and combine it. This is gonna get noisy again, so stay with me. I want to shake that till it gets really nice and cold on the outside. Now I'm going to strain it off into my glass. You could serve this in a martini glass, but I want to sit on the porch with this, and martini glasses are messy. So I'm going to strain it into a rocks glass. And also I'm feeling a little extra today. So I could strain this just as is with my Hawthorne strainer here on top, but it's going to have some cucumber pulp floating around, and I want something a little more refined as I sit on the porch. So I'm going to strain it through a tea strainer. Kind of get all that pulp out. All right, get these things out of the way. One last thing, again, to kind of really play up the spring-summer element of this drink is just an ounce or so of club soda. So you'll notice I'm adding that to the glass without any ice. A lot of times drinks that call for being topped with club soda, you'll add them at the very end once the drink is already sitting on the ice. The club soda has a tendency to just kind of hang out on the top if you do that. So I've mixed it in to the glass since I poured it right away. And now when I add my ice on top, the drink will be all combined together. I'm gonna finish that off by floating a cucumber right on the top. Cheers, the Ginfomocracy. I like it. Thanks for the inspiration, Malka.
Thank you very much, Tammy. That was the most efficient thing I've ever seen done, drinking or otherwise.
Well, you know, you don't want to take too much. You don't want to take more time than you need. You want to take the right amount of time when you're making a cocktail. But the goal is to get it good, cold, fast, and to the person who's going to drink it. And that person is me. I wish I could offer you one, Gadi.
Oh, you will. Trust me on that. I mean, I love that you do this. I just wonder how you got into it.
So I'm a person who's always loved feeding people. I've always loved food and drink. I had started Tammy's Tastings in 2006. I was doing artisan chocolates and tasting events, and nobody knew they needed a tasting event, but chocolates I was making and shipping around the country, and that was really a lot of fun. And then as my interest changed, my business changed as well, and in 2011, 2010, 2009, that period, I started getting really interested in craft cocktails. So cocktails were a big thing in the pre-Prohibition period. And then they kind of declined through the 20th century up until the beginning of the 2000s when we have this craft cocktail revival. And all of a sudden we're interested in good quality cocktails again. So I was really caught up in that, started learning about making drinks, started hosting cocktail parties at home. And I thought, well, you know, I really like learning to do these things. I bet other people would want to learn to do them too. So I did a little test class and some people were interested, and then I talked to a local bar and they said, well, you should do that here when we're closed. And from there it just snowballed. I really hit the market at just the right time, starting in 2011 when here in Michigan, the first craft cocktail bars, the first local distilleries were opening up. And it's grown leaps and bounds since then. And one of the most fun things for me now with going online is that I'm teaching classes to people all over the world. So this afternoon we had folks from all over Michigan and from Dublin, Ireland, and from Amsterdam. So it's been really fun.
Tammy, this class was completely delightful. Thank you for showing us this. I've taken a hobby of trying to make food from different fictional worlds. And so I sort of understand the urge to bring stories to life this way. How did you think about this drink emerging from Malka's world?
Well, we all take our inspirations where we can get them, and I love that the Criminal Element website is doing that, taking drinks, taking books and making drinks out of them. So I'm always looking for those opportunities as well. And I know if anybody's watching and you have ideas, if you have questions about things that we could make future drinks on Show Corners, that would be awesome.
I was gonna say, do you have an alcoholic butterbeer or some of the famous?
I mostly don't try to recreate those drinks. A lot of them aren't necessarily very good. I am a geek who loves cocktails, so I'm both a science fiction and fantasy fan, so I'm a geek in that way, and I'm a cocktail geek, but I don't always mix those streams very well. So, you know, I don't make Romulan ale. I just make really good drinks to drink while you're hanging out at a con or reading your favorite book or watching your favorite TV show.
It's like the pairing.
Yeah, I'm the Hugo administrator for this year's Worldcon. So there is a drink called the Hugo, and as soon as we get the Hugo packet ready to go out to the Hugo voters, that's the package of material they get to review and read to prepare for voting. As soon as that's ready, I would love to do a show corner where we make the Hugo cocktail, which is completely delicious and can commemorate that important time that's coming hopefully very soon.
You know, I think this might be more relevant than ever this year when people would be very well able to, you know, all make their own drink at home. People don't always attend these events from home. So
Right.
I know what I'll be drinking then. I don't know what's going to be in it yet because you haven't told us, but I know what I'll be drinking during the Hugos.
It will be very suitable. It's a nice fizzy sparkling wine cocktail, so it's extra suitable.
Oh, nice.
I have a question for you. Moving online in this way, that's something a lot of people are dealing with right now, and it's not been easy, I'm sure, but you made this transition seem easy. Is there anything that you learned from this or you think is important for people to share with people in this?
It was really important to me to take what I thought was the strength of my class. I mean, anybody can go online and watch a cocktail video, right? Like you can go on YouTube right now and learn to make the 50 classic cocktails you need to know, right? That video exists. But what the strength of my in-person classes had always been was bringing people together. Lots of friendships have been forged at the tables. Bringing people together, being really interactive, being hands-on, getting people doing and not just observing. And so I really thought a lot about how I could take the feeling of a Tammy's Tastings cocktail class and translate that into an online experience. And so we have small class sizes on Zoom, so everybody can see each other and talk to each other, and we stop and people mix and they show off their drinks. And the comments that I've gotten from people have been great, that they really do feel like they're in the room. So that to me was the important thing in making the transition. And then also just how do I use the new platform rather than just doing what I always do on a new platform. How do I take advantage of it? My PowerPoint game is strong, let me tell you.
Rad. Fear. Yes. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Tammy. And thank you for coming on the show, and thank you for creating that Hugo thing. I got to share with you, we're going to have quite a few panels for Hugo category finalists coming on the show. And I can't wait to learn.
I'm sure I can come up with some great cocktails to go along. Cheers, everybody.
Bye. Thank you very much. And on that note, I'm very happy to introduce Steve,